Implores motorists to be exemplary in their driving conduct after the recent rehabilitation and construction of major roads in Harare and other parts of the country by the government of Zimbabwe. In this regard, police officers deployed on roadblocks and other traffic enforcement duties will impound all unroadworthy vehicles and take staying action on any motorist who will be found driving through red traffic lights, going against the flow of traffic, or creating third or fourth lanes on the roads. These include those who will be found driving under the influence of alcohol. Motorists should cooperate with the police officers controlling or directing traffic at road junctions, traffic lights, and other points. The Zimbabwe Public Police has also deployed police officers at all the facilities where SADC guests will reside and visit resort centers or leisure sports throughout the country.
The police commissioner urged Zimbabweans to exhibit their characteristic law-abiding nature and revealed that there will be police presence in residential areas to ensure safety for all.
Now, youths from across the SADC region have rallied behind President Emmerson Mnangagwa, pledging unanimous support as he assumes the chairmanship of SADC.
As the 44th SADC Summit beckons, a tidal wave of youthful enthusiasm sweeps across the region as young leaders from every corner of the region converge in Zimbabwe to pledge their unwavering support to the visionary leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa as he assumes the SADC chairmanship. With his transformative agenda, youths are confident that under President Mnangagwa's wise and courageous stewardship, the region will soar to unprecedented prosperity.
When I arrived here, I saw a lot of developments, infrastructure development and all of that. These are a couple of things that we have been longing for. We want such things to actually go as far to other countries as well. I saw a construction that is called Zim Cyber City. We want to see a lot of those kind of places even in other countries.
I have seen the amount of leadership that the President Mnangagwa has had in the country. With his leadership, we know that the SADC region is going to be advanced to a more integrated region.
I want to say congratulations to the incoming SADC chairman. We know he will take the region forward. And for this exchange, expect more exchange of ideas from SADC member, youth SADC member in Africa.
Confederation of Young Entrepreneurs SADC Regional Coordinator Mr. Taurai Kandishaya said the visitors have been impressed by the developmental trajectory being pursued by the Second Republic.
Young persons are appreciating what President Mnangagwa is doing, especially on the infrastructure development side. The young persons are happy to realize that in Zimbabwe, economic emancipation is a reality. So they are appreciating the policies of President Emmerson Mnangagwa for empowering young persons.
In his presentation, ZBC Acting Chief Executive Officer Mr. Charles Munganasa underscored the importance of the media in promoting youth empowerment and Vision 2030.
The media should speak to issues of national development. The media is the conveyor belt when it comes to development from government to the people, because people might never understand what is happening in the country if the media does not speak to it. So we have a media which has got a mandate to ensure that the vision, particularly the vision that is coming from the President Vision 2030, reaches the people.
The 44th Ordinary SADC Summit of Heads of State and the Government will be held at the new Parliament building in Mount Hampton. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
And on a rather sad note, the death toll from the road accident that occurred yesterday, which was along the Mashingo-Topora Road, has risen from 7 to 9 after 2 people died in hospital today.
The accident happened when a Chikosho bus, which was traveling from Masvingo to Topora, carrying more than 105 passengers, failed to negotiate a steep gradient and overturned. 7 people died on the spot, with 2 others dying in hospital this Saturday. The Masvingo Provincial Joint Operations Command visited victims who were admitted at Masvingo General Hospital.
Because mukati takagara pasi vamwe vakamira pakeria futi panga pana vanhu nelageji saka zvakaitika zvokuti tosvika patopora pamudzitsigwa wetopora wakatomborimisa kuda wanga kuti wati mabhiriki achadi achapombi achirifidha mweya saka richibva ipapo rakabva rachita mwe spidi isingaiti richibva panga rimisa ipapo inobva ndati kuno mwangu ndakatigerera achamati atoparara tafa nespidi yaitika panei handori kevhesi pakona saka tichidero ndakaona radarika mugwagwa tikatoona rawa nokusaidi kwatatiri saka ini ndini munhu wakatozopedzisira kubudisiwa ndinda ndakatsikirirwa ruoko nebhodhi rebhasi
tapinda mudust road rangoti fambe mbichana rakuda kunoti tenei ndopa ndofunga rakatakurusa mabreak nokuti rakaita kakumhanya ndobva tazoona rati radonha pasi.
Government and traditional leaders raised concern over lawlessness by drivers and transport operators, promising to assist the accident victims.
Transport operators ngavachengetedze murao, vasaoverloada mabuses uye ngavafambe nemabhazi anenge akagadzigwa zviri pamurao asazotikonzeresera tsaona sedzataona muno kuti iko zvinotarasikirwa nevanhu vanokwana kuita 9.
Zvinotirwadza kuti nzvimbo iyoyo yaramba yava black spot, but tiri kutivo kuvatyairi vedzimota vemabhazi nguva dzino dzaAugust tinozviziva kuti kunoita tsaona, kuti tinoitire zvinhu zvakadaro zvokuti tinopedzisira taakuzadza vanhu pamusoro pemabhazi napakeria.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police confirmed the death of 2 more people and said the bus was overloaded.
Vakashaya tine 9 were confirmed kuti vakashaya. Bhazi paranga tichitaridza kuti ranga richifamba zviri kufungidzirwa izvo kuti rakanga rine mechanical fault yekuti ranga risina mabrakes akakwana. Tinongoda kukurudzira kuma transport operators kuti kana vachiisa midziyo yekutakura vanhu ngavaise inenge ichitaridza kuti inogona kutakura zvisingazokonzeresi tsaona mumugwagwa.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police is on record calling upon transport operators to be cautious and responsible on the roads. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
Government has praised Zimbabwe for implementing models that support communities and local communities to contribute to the national development matrix.
The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, toured Zimbabwe's financed community projects such as Palmline Beef and Dairy, youth empowerment projects under the Combined Technical Services and Mine Support Solutions in Ngezi. He then proceeded to Chegutu, where the Sebo Estate Investment, working with the Mondoro Ngezi Chegutu Zimba Community Share Ownership Trust, is benefiting locals through dividend in citrus and poultry, among other projects.
This is our biggest investment as a trust. We own 33.3% of what we see in the citrus, what you see in the chickens, and we want this to be a flagship for all the other trusts that are in the country. This model, the community investment model that we are currently doing or implementing, is a model that allows the communities to invest in sustainable projects. And those projects will then bring in dividends and the returns that will then be put in community development projects like social services, health, water, and all those kind of things.
Traditional leaders who form the core of the trust said the initiative is life transforming.
Yaunza pundutsa yakawanda zvokuti mune madistrict chakaita maambulances, kuvaka ma-x-ray units, kuvaka zvikoro, mabridges zvakawanda. Saka madzimambo hamborika kupinda muzvinhu zvakadaro so nokuti ndivo vanogara vachichemerwa nevanhu. Vanoziva ma-priorities kuti totanga nechii.
Government noted the initiative aligns with the National Development Strategy 1.
Key take-home message from what we have seen is that the Community Share Ownership Trusts were created mainly to impact communities, to come up with projects that can address community challenges. But what we are seeing here has gone way beyond what was envisaged then. I am happy that this community share ownership trust has easily aligned itself with Vision 2030. They are telling us that currently they have about 400, and this SABL project, Citrus, 450 hectares, but by 2030 they hope to have reached 1,200 hectares, continuously expanding in partnership with communities.
The mining firm has been working with surrounding communities and has since overseen more than 30 projects in the areas of water and sanitation, healthcare, education and agriculture.
The local authorities' blueprint implementation is on course in the city of Kwekwe, with the rehabilitation of Maunganidze Road in Bizo having been completed.
The Maunganidze Road has been an eyesore for a long time, despite it being a critical link connecting Mbizo suburb to Kwekwe Mvuma Road and being an alternative route from Mbizo to town, and its upgrade has brought relief to drivers and travelers.
Tikuona zviri kuchinja munyika and nyika iri kudevelopa. Takufamba zvakanaka, pachina mapotholes. This is a new town, as you can see. Saka we need to thank our government. We need to thank all stakeholders involved.
Ngavaramba chibata basa because mari dzidzi kuchengetedzeka nekuda kwekuti road yedu yanaka.
Toda kutenda kuti vamhike netimu yenyu makateerera. Basa rikafamba. Zvichireva kuti mukaramba makadaro mai mukandla. Navamhike netimu yenyu. Rwendo rwedu rwevision 2030 navamunangagwa teti nemwe. Meya ndoda kukutendai. Hapana pamuri kusara pamaprograms ehurumende. Ndoda kutenda nekuzouya kwamaitana nadhadha vari pano. Vari kutevera maprograms ehurumende. Vamwe vanofunga kuti kana tauya, minista vauya, zvinongova zvemusangano. Aiwa, nezvehurumende izvi. Asi, kana mauya moteerera, matongero eZANU-PF.
Government commended the Kwekwe City Council for prioritizing service delivery in line with the smart city concept.
Kwekwe City contributes immensely to the Midlands provincial GDP, which is set to accelerate with the rehabilitation of major roads like Maunganidze Road. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the successes of the Second Republic's devolution and decentralization agenda lies with the ability and capacity of local authorities to provide quality services, as residents deserve value for their money. For the rest, they pay to councils.
The Kwekwe City Council was in 2023 awarded the Best Local Urban Authority in the Midlands Province, while Chirumanzu Rural Council took pole position in the Rural Authorities category. Tafara Chikomira, ZBC News, Kwekwe.
Public health experts have noted the need for caution and sustained efforts to prevent the resurgence of cholera, despite government's recent declaration of Zimbabwe as now free of the disease.
The country's successful battle against the diarrheal outbreak has been hailed as a significant achievement. Health experts, however, warn that the battle is far from over, with calls to shift focus towards preventing future outbreaks. President of the Zimbabwe College of Public Health Physicians, Dr. Brian Maponga, emphasized the critical role of improving water and sanitation infrastructure in combating cholera.
Long-term strategies require resolving the water and sanitation problems in growing populations, especially in urban areas. The established settlements and also the new settlements. We need to keep all hands on deck to make sure that all sectors, with the lead of the government, across the different government departments, development partners, the private for-profit partners, continue to be sitting on the table to use the energy and the resources that we had during the outbreak to now focus on resolving the continuous problems we're seeing with water and sanitation. And without an outbreak right now, this is the opportunity.
Public health expert Dr. Kudzai Masunda highlighted the need for a comprehensive approach to cholera prevention.
Zimbabwe developed a cholera elimination strategy up to the year 2028 in line with the global roadmap of ending cholera by 2030. So this strategy has got several pillars or several arms that it looks at to manage cholera outbreak. So long term, that needs to be done is that we have got healthcare workers or a healthcare system that is responsive to cholera. It means we need competent people who can identify and manage cholera cases. So that's one of the strategies that is there. Then we also need to improve on our prevention strategies. And this we've already started to do.
Government is ramping up efforts to improve access to clean water through expansion of water, sanitation and hygiene programs to avoid future cholera outbreaks. The presidential borehole scheme has become a key component of this initiative, with several boreholes being sunk across the country. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
Remember, there is more news on our website, that is www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also engage with us on our X handle as well as our WhatsApp channel. We are ZBC News Online.
We're also streaming live right now on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. Do tell us where you are watching us from across the globe. These and other stories ahead in the bulletin.
Winter wheat farmers increase production, surpassing government's target.
And our sweet victory for FC Platinum as they go Sweet Boys Iron Movers, that and more in sport.
We're off to a break. To join us when we return with more.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZIG. Let's dive into what makes ZIG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZIG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show. It's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible. With denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins, it caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions, but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
Speed. It thrills. But it kills. Obey traffic laws and drive within set limits. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. Safety first. There is no second chance.
SPW for AD. People live with stability. For AD, we are happy with you, our president. Now we have said that more time, our president, more demonstrate more president moudza isu afanira kukura isu takavaka zvipatara una muduri zvinezvi tonotarisa pasadhak panapa manifestors mamwe vanenge vachiona zvatokuita kuti semazimbabwe hatisi kumira takadosu nyika inovakwa nevaina vanhu kwete zvokuti nowani wachiplana kuti kwai no toda kuti sadhak isave ichindepi saka vanoshandisiwa yawezikai muno muzimbabwe iyezvo tositafokasa sadhak president mnangagwa tinoti we are behind you as disabled people.
You are cordially invited to the SADC Tourism Night at the Museum of African Liberation in the Heritage Cultural Village on the 15th of August 2024. Experience the vibrant culture of Zimbabwe through traditional cuisine, music and dance. Enjoy performances by renowned artists Diana Samkange and Dimuridzo and Killer T as they showcase the rich Zimbabwean musical tradition. This event is a celebration of the Southern African Development Community's diverse heritage and promises an evening of cultural immersion and entertainment. Celebrating His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, on being appointed as the incoming chairman of the SADC. Congratulations, Zimbabwe.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at no extra cost. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will confirm that you qualify for Showmax at no extra cost as a DSTV premium subscriber. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
You're still watching News at 8. Thank you for staying with us. A sign language Bible has been released in the capital, a development that will benefit Christians proficient in the language.
Comprehending written languages, including Shona and English, is a challenge for some people who use sign language and had to rely on other people translating the Bible for them. The Zimbabwe Sign Language Bible that was unveiled in Harare this Friday, translated into video format, is however a new dawn for those with hearing impairment and can only understand sign language.
Now I'm so happy now that we have the new word translation, Greek scriptures. I know I can find answers by myself in the Bible, and this will help me remain faithful to Jehovah.
So before, using the English Bible was difficult because the language is difficult. I could not help my children, but with the sign language Bible, it's easy for me to understand and then teach my children. So this release of the Bible fills me with joy. Thank you very much, Jehovah.
The initiative saw the New Testament being translated to sign language, with the Old Testament expected to be complete in the next 5 years.
We are so happy with this special gift to our dear friends who use Zimbabwe Sign Language. We are so confident that this special gift of the Bible in the Christian scriptures, also known as the New Testament, will be helpful to them in the community, at home, at school. And for those who use Zimbabwe Sign Language, they will now read the Bible in the language that they can easily understand and apply what they learn. So now we are confident that it will help them go a long way.
Sign language is one of the 16 official languages in Zimbabwe, and this initiative goes a long way in assisting Christians who use sign language. Patience Nyagatu, SABC News.
From the capital, it's now time to cross over to our Montreux studio where Marilyn Gwenya is on standby to take us on. Marilyn, it is a beautiful evening. It's over to you.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Leanne and Yvonne. And now in our following report, wheat farmers have put 121,345 hectares of the crop against a government's target of 120,000 hectares. This came out during a wheat field day held at Mswelangubo Farm in Matabeleland North Province.
Zimbabwean farmers have gone full throttle to ensure every inch of irrigable land is put under wheat, contributing to government's set target of achieving a yield of 600,000 metric tons at harvest time. Farmer and ZANU-PF Secretary General Dr. Obet Mpofu, who is the owner of Mswelangubo Farm in Nyamandlovu, is playing his role in contributing a significant hectarage to the achievement of government's set target.
50 hectares la engilima ngayo wheat iminyaka yonke siyazuza inzuzo enhle okumalisayo wheat sihambise ku GMB yiyo enye iwheat engaba ihlanganisa laba abalima kakhulu ukuthi sibe lesinkwa leflour azake ngizuze less than 100 tons iwheat kuyisivande sesincane kade sinkhangelela ukuthi khona nxa kuzahamba kahle njengoba vele seduzane iwheat isiqalisa ukuvuthwa 100 tons asoze ngiyiswele.
Government continues to encourage wheat farming as this will go a long way in meeting domestic demand, reduce imports, as well as improve the country's food security.
Government has adopted a wheat-based food security thrust, which is underpinned by the country's comparative advantage to produce wheat over maize in winter. For the upcoming season, government had set a target of 120,000 hectares under wheat production. This target was surpassed as a total of 121,345 hectares is under irrigation, which should give us 600,000 metric tons, the highest since 1962.
Despite the country being hard hit by the El Nino-induced drought, government has adopted a wheat-based food security thrust. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Nyamandlovu.
The Moza Irrigation Scheme has become a beacon of hope for the people of Bulilima District in Matabeleland South Province, a district which has been struggling to cope with the adverse effects of climate change.
In the heart of parched and sun-baked terrain of the semi-arid district of Bulilima District, Matabeleland South Province, there is a silver lining tucked in Gampu area. This is Moza Irrigation Scheme, which has become a beacon of hope to the people who have been toiling for years, depending on rain-fed agriculture, but with nothing to show for it. The rehabilitation of the scheme by government and its development partners has thrown a lifeline to the community, which has a thriving 41 hectares of winter wheat and other crops.
Lima kwedu irrigation koti chidza kwazvo tobudilila sivingove vhula itotidzidza ingandavo ikatikahaya hapa napa nekuti vhula inovaisa navo dhamu lisihele koga ai inotikwanisa kuti tilime gole lose.
Khangelela ukuthi sizavuna ukudla okuningi bese sihambisa eGNB.
Sathola i-fertilizer emnyama lemhlophe lehlanyeni. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Agriculture experts are convinced that farmers ought to guard their winter wheat against squillier bears to prevent losses.
Isiku elongation stage ancho. Ngoba siyabona ukuthi isikhipha abantwana. Kuthi ukuthi ngicabanga ukuthi abantu beMoza kumele baqine basitshele ukuthi inyoni zingaphi ngaphi kwakhona. Bangasitshela ukuthi kule nyoni.
The Minister of State for Matabeleland South Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Evelyn Ndlovu, who toured Moza Irrigation Scheme this weekend, said government is working flat out to climate-proof agriculture through irrigation.
Sesithembe ukuthi siproduce iwheat kuma irrigation schemes. Siproduce umumbu kuma irrigation schemes. Imoza ngeyinye yama schemes esikhangelele ukuthi lisincedise ukuthi sibe lokudla ebulilima, sibe lokudla eprovince yeMatabeleland South Province, sibe lokudla in the country.
The 96-hectare Moza scheme is one of the many irrigation schemes that have been rehabilitated by government and its development partners to climate-proof agriculture through irrigation. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Bulilima.
The Zimbabwe National Army's 5th Infantry Brigade has handed over a classroom block at Tsungai Primary School in Gokwe North District as part of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Community Assistance Week.
The new classroom block puts Tsungai Primary School on the map as students were finding it difficult to be accommodated in a dignified environment. The classroom block was made possible through combined efforts where the community provided bricks and labor, with members of the Zimbabwe National Army providing expertise, while Vice President General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga chipped in with materials used in the construction works.
ZDF musanete rambai muchiita basa irori musagumire pano chete asi munzvimbo dzese dzemedu muno magumunyu nemugokwe north yose.
Government says the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Community Assistance Week is testimony that military personnel prioritize improving livelihoods of the citizenry.
The construction of the classroom block is indeed a welcome relief to the community as it helps alleviate shortage of suitable and critical infrastructure at the school. To that end, the Ministry of Defense commits to continue supporting efforts by the School Development Committee and the community to improve the learning environment. At this juncture, let me take the opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Vice President, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.G. Chiwenga, for generously providing these construction materials that was used in this project. This timely contribution by the Honorable Vice President made it possible for the project to be completed within schedule.
5th Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Mpuliang Siziba weighed in, saying they will continue to assist needy communities.
No. Kana maita zvese zvakakwana munoenda kwa DDC ndianozotitaura kuti kune kumwe kwanaka handitiukirani then vabereki tokubatsirai.
In the Midlands province, members of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces have carried out several critical projects, including construction of schools and health facilities, while the disadvantaged have received free medical attention under the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Community Assistance Week. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gokwe.
The ZANU-PF Midlands province is the latest to recommend the extension of President Emmerson Mnangagwa's stay in office beyond 2030, saying the move will allow him to see his Vision 2030 come to realization. Our Midlands Bureau Chief, Tafaraj Kumira, attended the ZANU-PF inter-district meeting and filed the following report.
The ZANU-PF Midlands Provincial Leadership held an inter-district meeting this Saturday, where the leadership and party structures became the 10th and last province to unanimously call for President Mnangagwa's leadership to be extended beyond 2028. They say the move is expected to cement goals attained by the Second Republic and lead to the realization of the National Vision 2030, which is aimed at transforming the country to an upper middle-income society.
The Midlands Province of ZANU-PF resolves that ndibatisisei hama wadiwa President vanogara vachitaura vachitiwo the voice of the people is the voice of God. Izwi reruzhinji rwevanhu ndiro izwi raMwari. Saka kana naivo tiri kutaura nhasi kuti havafanirwi kuramba zvatiri kusunga seMidlands province nokuti ndizvo zvasungwa neruzhinji. Now therefore the Midlands province of ZANU-PF resolves that the appropriate and legal ways and means be sought to enable the extension of His Excellency President Comrade Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa's term of office as the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe for an additional 2 years beyond the end of the second. Beyond the end of the second term in 2028, to allow him to fully and optimally implement his Vision 2030 agenda and all its attendant plans and strategies which run concurrently until the year 2030.
His Excellency Babaledu Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa nokuda kwekugona kwaari kuita nekuda kwezvibata zvatinoona mukati medzimba dzedu kusimudzira kuri kuita dzimba dzedu ngavarambe vakachigwina ngavarambe vachitonga kusvika 2030.
Ndakamirira magananga ose omuMidlands ndinoti vaMnangagwa vavorambe vakabata chitanda kusvika taona vision 2030 yavakatanga iri kufamba zvakanaka.
The Midlands Provincial Youth League was the first to make the recommendations at an Inter-District Youth League conference held sometime last month. Midlands Provincial Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Owen Ngube, also took the opportunity to highlight some of the projects in the province.
I wish to express the Midlands Province unwavering loyalty, unity of purpose, and commitment in supporting the First Secretary of ZANU-PF, Head of State and Government, Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, and incoming SADC Chairman, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. To lead the nation, the transformative agenda to modernize and industrialize the economy as we gravitate towards attainment of an upper middle income society earlier than 2030.
The ZANU-PF National Political Commissar, Comrade Mnyaradzi Machacha, who attended the meeting, said he will convey the message and recommendations made during the gathering to the party's first secretary and president, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa.
Muresolution yenyu madoma basa rimwe nerimwe raitwa mukati naizvozvo zvine kodzero yokuti vakuru vapiwe mukana wokupedzisa basa iroro vachiachievha vision 2030 yacho vachiri muofisi vachitonga. Saka tinotambira resolution yenyu inova resolution yechiteini sezvo muri imwe province yokupedzisira yekuita ma-inter-district conference. The other 9 provinces have already made a similar resolution. But what is unique about the Midlands resolution is that it has gone beyond emotion to reason and justification, and even to start thinking about the legal implications of implementing the resolution. So I think Kudande Zhouti last, so you had more time to think and to prepare, but certainly your resolution is a document worth reading, and we shall be taking it as it is.
Saturday's inter-district meeting also witnessed the party leadership taking stock of the progress made in cell restructuring and verification process at grassroots level, a scheme meant to strengthen the party going forward. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
And that's it for myself, Marilyn Konya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. News at 8 continues from Pocket Hill Studios in Harare. And Liane is on standby. Liane, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Marilyn. It's always a pleasure seeing you on the other side of the screen. And now from the capital, Senate President Honorable Mabel Chinomona has urged senators and legislators to remain in touch with their constituencies to ensure sustainable development of local communities. The call was made at the official opening of Mandave Senatorial Constituency House in Mount Darwin on Friday.
Mandave Senatorial Constituency House, officially opened in Mount Darwin this Friday, has become the first senatorial office in the country, marking a significant milestone regarding representation of the electorate. Commissioning the new office, Senate President Honorable Mabel Chinomona challenged senators and legislators to keep in touch with the people they represent.
This week I'm just going to constituency.
kusvika atojaira akutoita 2 months asati adzokera, kusvika akutoita 6 months. Kune basa rakawanda kuparliament. Members of parliament vanoenda kumakomiti kwavanoenda vachinoona zvakasiyana-siyana zvinoenderana nekomiti yavo. Saka zvaitwa navamakamba zvinhu zvinobvira kukosha chose, nekuti panguva yavanenge vari kuparliament, nguva yavanenge vari kumakomiti, vane vanhu vavanosiya muofisi vanogona kufona kuti wamakamba kunoku kune chakati chasvika muofisi menyu chiri kuda kuti chigadziriswe.
Senator James Makamba committed to work tirelessly with all the area legislators to address challenges facing the people.
Establishing this office in Mount Darwin rather than the bigger towns like Bindura is a deliberate choice. It reflects my commitment to being present and accessible to the people who entrusted me with this role.
Mount Darwin South Legislator Honorable Kudakwashe Mpamangao, is also Deputy Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, welcomed the establishment of the new constituency office.
Ngatishandise mukana watetinawo ekuti kana wasvika kuofisi uko kumandawe house uko uri kusvika uine project inobata ruzhinji, inobata vanhu
vanobva kumaruva sekunana bhodha Mukumbura, vanouya neinformation vachida kupa ma-MP yavo, vachida kupa senator wavo. Ofisi iyi yatibatsira zvikuru.
Netarisiro yekuti panapa ndo musha watashikira zvichemo zvedu zvese zveMount Darwin.
Mount Darwin has 4 legislative constituencies and 1 senatorial constituency, with the office expected to serve as shelter during meetings, a repository of information being cascaded down from the ruling ZANU-PF party and government, as well as a library for record keeping and developmental projects. Tapiwa Machemedze, SADC News, Mount Darwin.
News at 8 takes a break and we'll be back with business.
Enjoy real value and real savings with the TM Pick and Pay Weekend Winners. Save up by getting your groceries and so much more in store today. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
To DSTV Compact for $30 a month to get all the football action you want.
The Minister of Defense, Honorable O.C.Z. Muchinguri Kashiri, the Deputy Minister of Defense, Honorable Brigadier General Retired Levi Maihlome, Secretary for Defense, Comrade A.D.T. Nepera, Commander Defense Forces, General P.V. Sibanda, Service Chiefs, General and Air Officers, Chief Director, Directors, Senior Officers, Officers, men and women of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, management and staff of the Ministry of Defense and their families, join His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, and the nation in remembering our fallen heroes and heroines on Heroes Day. As we observe Heroes Day and commemorate the fallen gallant men and women of our motherland, let us do so as one people, united in destiny and purpose. Heroes Day is an important occasion that allows us to reflect on the sacrifices of the gallant sons and daughters from the first Chimurenga Umvukela to the second Chimurenga Umvukela, whose heroic deeds ushered in the independence, freedom, and peace that we enjoy today. It is for this reason that Heroes Day must be cherished by all, because those who died for our freedom did so out of exceptional patriotism that transcended regional, village, tribal, ethnicity, or race considerations. As a free and liberated people, we should never take our nationhood, peace, and unity for granted. Our country's history is rooted in the sacrifice, perseverance, and selflessness of our freedom fighters. In that regard, we must continue to celebrate and preserve the knowledge of their struggle and ultimate triumph. As we commemorate our heroes, let us allow this occasion to inspire and motivate us to make the impossible possible and to turn dreams into realities. The Ministry of Defense and entire staff shall forever cherish the nation's heroes' legacy of gallant service to the people of Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe Defense Forces, guaranteeing a conducive environment for the attainment of Vision 2030.
Zimbabwe will proudly host the 44th Ordinary SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government on August 17, 2024 in Harare. Preceding this landmark event are crucial meetings of SADC senior officials and the Council of Ministers setting the agenda for the summit. ZBC will cover all the action from these preparatory meetings to the summit itself across its TV, radio, and digital platforms. Advertisers are encouraged to seize this significant opportunity to enhance their brand's visibility locally and regionally through tailored advertising packages during the SADC meetings and summit. For more details on advertising opportunities, please contact Mildred on 0712-831-177 or Wilson on 0775-902-040 or email sales@zbc.co.zw.
The Ministry of Defense invites the nation to come and celebrate the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Day at all traditional venues throughout the country on 13 August 2024. His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, will grace the main celebrations at Rufaro Stadium, Mbare, Harare. Highlights of the main venue event include static military hardware displays mounted around Rufaro Stadium, spectacular military parade inside the stadium, music by Sungura Guru Alik Macheso, Chill Sport, and Zambia Defense Forces traditional dance group from 0700 hours, captivating ZDF displays, an afternoon soccer match pitting Zambia Defense Forces Select and Zimbabwe Defense Forces Select teams, a fascinating afternoon ZDF retreat parade after the soccer match, entertainment galore. Gates open at 0600 hours. See you there. Zimbabwe Defense Forces, guaranteeing a conducive environment for the attainment of Vision 2030.
Welcome back. The tourism sector is set to take center stage as the country prepares to host the Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo from the 12th to the 14th of September in Bulawayo.
The 17th edition of the Premier World Tourism Expo, which is expected to run from the 12th to the 14th of next month, will spotlight sustainable tourism initiatives and gastronomy, underscoring the industry's commitment to responsible practices and culinary experiences. In a media briefing in Bulawayo this Friday, Deputy Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Tongai Mnangagwa, said the expo has attracted 400 local and international exhibitors, marking an 8% increase from the previous year.
The three-day expo will feature an extensive exhibition area with over 400 local and international exhibitors representing airlines, tour operators, hotels, lodges, safari companies, national tourism organizations, and more. An 8.3 increase, up from 375 exhibitors, has been realized this time around.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Dr. Takura Tanyanywa, highlighted the expo's role in revitalizing the tourism industry.
In terms of growing the market, and we take their feedback seriously, because once they've gone round, we then have a post-mortem with them, and they'll tell us different things. Maybe they're talking about the attraction themselves, they're talking about issues of quality, what the expectations are, and all those issues that really affect their business.
The Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development will for the first time feature tourism innovation hubs. The expo a platform for networking and business deals, is expected to contribute significantly to the growth of the tourism industry, a key driver of the country's economy. Elandmo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And I will bring you an update from Kigali, Rwanda, where His Excellency the President, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, has met with President Paul Kagame and have exchanged notes on various issues. Our chief correspondent, Ruben Barre, has more.
The President, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, met his Rwandese counterpart, President Paul Kagame, on the eve of his inauguration at a hotel in Kigali Saturday evening. Obviously, there is a lot to talk about by the two leaders on bilateral, regional, continental, and global issues. Obviously, this is also taking place exactly 7 days before Zimbabwe takes the chairmanship of the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, and President Mnangagwa is expected to preside over the issues concerning the 16 member states for the coming year. The outcome of the talks by the two could not be published, as the two leaders were still talking by the time we went on air on Saturday evening. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Kigali, Rwanda.
On that note, we take a breather. We will be back with sport. To stay with us.
In line with the tradition of assisting needy communities, the defense hierarchy will this year hand over completed public infrastructure development projects during the Community Assistance Week program commencing on the